Ya la 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 la, and la 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 la, ya la 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 ya la la, and la 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 la, ya la 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 la, da 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 da, I na na ya na na ya na na, da da, ya da 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 da. It's hot in here. Okay, everybody take off your top layer. So welcome to everybody. This morning I was in Augusta there. I guess we're going to read in the news what happened, but today was the last day at the legislature, and they were, I thought they were just voting on vetoes, but apparently there's a lot of, Susie, you can explain to me what's going on. But there's a lot going on. But the reason I mention it is because they told us to get there at 9:45 for the 10 o'clock opening. And we did have an opening. We did give an opening prayer, but it was at 20 minutes to 12. And so I was talking with another person, another clergy member, Reverend Jeff, who was there, and I said, he's like, when is it going to start? When's it going to start? I said, you're obviously not used to Jewish services. They never start on time. And he said, yeah, us in the black church, it's the same thing. So I tell you that because if you were, getting here on time, we're only 5 minutes late, which is really kind of a record for us. So I want to say welcome, welcome. Welcome into a bubble of happiness, so that whatever is going on in the outside world, I want to invite you to ignore it. And if you have any kind of devices, to turn them off, and tomorrow morning turn them off, and if you're really smart, turn them off tonight too, and just let yourself be. Which leads me, and I'm going to give pretty much the same speech tomorrow too, so you can sleep either this time or tomorrow. And the deal is this is Shabbat. It's this time that we carve out for celebration. And part of the celebration is, think of it, God created the world, not literally, I don't believe, but let's say God created the world in 6 days. On the seventh day, God sat back and just watched it. God didn't do what I would do, which is like, oh, maybe we just need to do a little thing over here, and we need to do it. No, just step back and let it go. And so that's what we're imitating. We're stepping back and letting creation happen, and celebrating a really wonderful bat mitzvah, celebrating Nora's coming into the adult community. And you are all part of it. Those of you who, many of you haven't been to Temple Bethel before, and even if you have, it's different every time. So you should not worry. You're not going to do anything that is going to make you stand out or look dumb or anything like that. There are times when, tomorrow it's even more, but there are times when we're standing and times that we're sitting, and it doesn't matter. If you didn't get the message, you're fine. Nobody really cares. And this is the crazy thing. You may not know the language, you may not know the melodies, you may not know what the heck is going on, but I want you to participate anyway. So as soon as you get a melody in your head, you can sing it to Yada Dai. Often in our prayer book, you can become an instant Hebrew speaker because there's transliteration, or else you can hum it. Whatever you do, don't think you have to sit quietly and reverently. I mean, there are times if you want to go ahead, that's fine, but you are just welcome to participate in any way that you participate, and I'm really thrilled for that. Lastly, in a moment, I'm going to invite Nora up, and she's going to basically lead the service with me. There's some things that she has prepared, there's some things she hasn't, but the two of us are like all of us. We're doing what we know, and being joyous about it, and I'll announce pages, and it's just about having a really great time, which in the regular world out there, if we're reading any newspapers, we're not. So this is a real treat for all of us. So the first thing I'd like to do, though, very interesting, on Friday night, actually much of our service, you wouldn't know this, is disagreements between rabbis. One rabbi thought we should say this, another rabbi thought we should say that. There's a compromise here, but you'd never know that there's a compromise. One of those compromises is, do we wear a tallis at night? Do we wear a tallis in the morning? Tallis is this. And the idea is that we wear it presumably when we can see the tzitzit, the fringes. And if this were really Shabbat, it were really nighttime, it would be dark. And so you wouldn't see them. So the rabbis in their wisdom said, so you don't wear a tallis at night. But other sages said, no, but Shabbat is so special. You know, you should definitely wear it at night. So the compromise is the leaders wear a tallis on Friday night, and the congregation does not. And then tomorrow morning, all those who are above the age of bar bat mitzvah, b mitzvah, who are Jewish, wear a tallis. So everybody wears it in the morning because you can actually see the tzitzit. So that was a long introduction to why I'm inviting Don and Gina Boyle forward to present Nora with her tallis. And I invite you all to come up and speak as much as you can into, unless you want it to be intimate and nobody to hear you, speak into the microphone. You should go like in the middle there. There you go.
I know.
Hey.
All right.
Well, we have the honor of wrapping Nora in her talit that she picked out. So here it is. The prayer goes around her neck.
Got the right guy showing you how to do this too, Nora.
And the great thing is we don't even say a blessing on Friday night, so you don't even have to know that part.
Wait,
Oh, so
there it is.
beautiful.
Really. What are we doing, Nora?
Yeah, you got it.
You gonna stand between me and Bobby?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. So,
Your grandfather and I are honored to be placing the talit around you, the one you selected. This symbolizes the start of your spiritual life in the Jewish faith. Being Jewish is not easy. I remember how I felt during my bat mitzvah. I had the strong influence of my grandparents, who all immigrated from Europe. I know your story will be different. I know you will remember this day. You are surrounded by people who love you, your parents and sister Beatrice. Two great-grandmothers, some grandparents. Also, you have uncles, aunts, and a lot of cousins here today. We hope you will always be embraced by the traditions and love of your culture, along with any difficulties you may encounter. We love you.
Love you too.
well,
Thank you.
okay. Is that it for
I
us?
guess we're done.
All right, thanks, Nora.
Thank you. Oh man, that is really good. Okay, so not only are we going to look good, we'll sound good too. So we begin on page 10 in the Siddur. This is the Siddur, the prayer book. And you'll notice it opens correctly from the left to the right. Oh, you poor thing. Do you want to use that big book? It's easier to read. And as I said, if you know the words, if you know the melody, sing along. If you don't know the words, if you don't know the melody, sing along. Yedi nefesh avarachaman mishoch avdach el ritzonach yarutz avdach kemo hayal yishtachaveh mul hadarach ki זיווך, אז תתחזק ותתרפא, והייתה לך שפחת עולם, ותקיימו רחמך וחוסנם על בן אוהבך, כי זה כמה נחשוף נחשף לראות בתפארת עוזך. נאה לי מחמד ליבי חושנה, ואל תתעלם, יגלנה ופרוס חביב עלי את סוכת שלומך. תאיר ארץ מכבודך, נגילה ונשמחה בך. מהר אהוב כי במועד, וחנני כי מעולם. יאללה לי 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 לי, יאנה ני 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 לי, יאללה לי 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 לי, יאנה די די די, יאללה לי 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 לי, יאללה לי 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 לי, יאללה לי 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 לי, יאנה ני ני ני, יאנה ני 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 ני, יאנה לי 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 לי, יאנה לי 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 לי, יאנה ני ני די, יאנה ני 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 ני, יאללה לי 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 לי. Yalla lie 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 lie. This part of the service, Kabbalat Shabbat, receiving Shabbat, is really just singing a bunch of psalms. And though there's one for every day of the week, there's 7 psalms. We don't do all of them, but it's just kind of to bring things in, slowly move from whatever place you've been in into Shabbat. So we'll continue on page 11. Lechu neranena l'Adonai, nariya litzur yishenu, nekadma fanav b'todah, bizmirot nariya lo, nekadma fanav b'todah, bizmirot nariya lo. Ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim asher biyado mecherei haaretz v'toafot harim lo asher biyado mecherei haaretz v'toafot harim lo. We'll join Nora, who will be reading the English. We'll read it responsibly also on the other side, page 11. Correct.
Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voice in song.
Great is Adonai, a greater sovereign than all other deities. God's hands formed the earth's deep. Mountain crests, too, are God's work. The sea is God's, for God made it. Dry land was fashioned by God's hands.
Come then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai who formed us. For Adonai is our God, and we are God's flock, sheep in God's caring hands.
If only you would listen today to God's voice and not become hard-hearted like the people at Meribah, like that time at Massah in the desert, when your ancestors tried me and tested me, though they had seen what I had wrought. For 40 years I was troubled by that generation, and I said, these are a people whose hearts have gone astray. They do not know my way, so in anger I swore they would not enter my rest. 40 shana kut bedor, v'yomaram toei levavhem, vehem lo yadu derachai, asher nishbati v'yapi, im yavun el menuchati. And we continue on page 13. If you love to harmonize, this is your song, and you really don't need to know the words. But I love the beginning words, Shir Adonai, Shir Chadash, sing to Adonai a new song. Every time we sing a song, even if it's the same words, it's new. It's that Zen thing with the water running through the river. Shir Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shir Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shir Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Miyom Leyom Yeshuato, Sapru Vagoyim Kevodo, Bechol Ha'amim Nifliotav, Ki Gadol Adonai, Umelal Meyod, Norahu, Al Kol Elohim, Ay, Ki Kol Elohim, Ha'amim Elilim, Ba'adonai Shmayim Asa, Hod V'Hador Lefanav, Oz V'Tiferet B'Mikdasho, Havul Adonai Mishpachot Ha'amim, Havul Adonai Kavod Va'oz, Havul Adonai Kevod Shemo, Zeu Mincha, Uvo'u Lachatzrotav, Ay, Ishtachavu Adonai B'Hadrat Kodesh, Chilu Mipanav Kol Haaretz, Imru Vagoyim, Adonai Malach, Abtikon Tevel, Baal Timot, Yadin Amim B'Mesharim, Yismechu Hashmayim V'Tagel Haaretz, Yeram Hayam, Umelohom, Ya'alo Sadai, Kol Asher Bo, Ay, Azirananu Kol Atzeyar, Lifnei Adonai, Kiva Lishpot Haaretz, Yishpot Tevel B'Tzedek, Be'amim Be'emunato, La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ay la la la, ay la la la, ay la la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, na 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 na, ya na na ya na na, ay na na na, ya la 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 la, ay la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ay da ya na na ya na na ya na na, ay la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ay la la la, ya ay la la la, ay la la la, ya ay la la la. And you thought you were coming to a boring service. And we turn now to page 19. Adonai malach yugzu amim yoshev kruvim tanut haaretz, Adonai b'tzion gadol v'ramhu al kol ha'amim. Adonai reigns, nations tremble. The one enthroned amidst the cherubim makes the world quake. Adonai is great in Zion above all nations. They shall acknowledge your name, saying, Great, awe-inspiring, Holy One. A sovereign strength lies in the love of justice, and you forged the paths of truth, judging Jacob righteously and justly. Exalt Adonai our God, bow down before God the Holy One. Turn the page, page 20. Moses and Aaron among God's priests, and Samuel among those who called upon the divine name, called to you, and you answered them. You spoke to them from amidst the cloud. They kept your covenant and the law you gave them. You answered them, Adonai our God. You are a forgiving God to them, even as you punish them for their transgressions. So exalt Adonai our God and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy.
Romemu
Adonai Eloheinu v'ishakavu l'har kodsho.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishakavu l'har kodsho. Ki
kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Guess what's next? Ya la la 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 So I invite you to turn to page 21 as we rise for this psalm, which is out of order, which is probably why we rise for it. Mizmor LeDavid, Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, Havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, Havu l'Adonai kavod shemo, Histachavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod hirim, Adonai, Adonai, Almayim Rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vaishaver Adonai et arzei havanon, Vayarkidem kemo egel, Levanon v'Sirion, kemo ben re'emim. Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh, Kol Adonai yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yachalel ayalot, Vayachasov ya'arot, Uvehechalot lo omer kavod, Kulo omer kavod, Adonai lama bo yashav, Vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Feel free to be seated. You are great singers. So I love this meditation on page 22. It's kind of a mystical prayer, and there's this mysticism in it. There's this idea that God's name, if you put all the letters of this together, that is God's name. There's another story that if you put all the letters of the Torah together, just say them as one word, that too is God's name. So it just goes to show you God isn't just one thing. But if you would, may your mighty right hand undo the knot that ties us up. So there's a nigun, there's a song without words that those of you who know it can chant with me, and then we could just take a moment to meditate on what knots are in our souls that we're trying to let go of this Shabbat. La 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 Mighty Holy One, in your abundant goodness, guide your people. Alone, exalted, turn to your people who invoke your holiness. Listen to our pleas, hear our cries, knowing the hidden depths within us. Praise be the name of the one whose glorious sovereignty is forever and ever. Now on page 23, L'chadodi, we bring in, literally, almost, literally and figuratively, we bring in Shabbat. And I'm not sure I know the melody
We can
to
just do
this.
that one. I don't care. I know whichever one.
Taubman.
You can do the other one too. I know them both.
All right. L'chadodi likrakala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrakala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad Adonai echad, u'shemo echad l'shem l'tiferet ve'letila Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki makor ha'beracha mirosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila lechadodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzi'im mitocha v'charav lach shevet v'yemek habacha v'hu yachamol alayich chemla lechadodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Page 24. Hitna ari me'afar kumi livshi bigdei tifartecha mi al yad ben ishai beit Allah mi korva el nafshi nafshi ge'ala lechadodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri kiva orech kumiori uri shir daveri kevod Adonai alayich nigla lechadodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela lo tevoshi v'lo tikami Eta Iroti La Lekadoli Likrat Kala Pene Shabbat Ne 25 Bahayulim Shiso Shawasayif Baraka Kukol Mivalayif Yasi Salayif Elohayif Kimsos Chatan Chatan Al-Kala Likrat Kala Pene Shabbat Nekabela Yaminu Small Tifrot Ziviet Adonai Ta'aritzi Al-Yali Ben Marzi Now here's the trick I did forget to tell you about. We rise now as the door is opened, and B's going to open the door and
Be
over
the
here.
door.
And the Shabbat bride or queen or whatever it is going to come in. Feel free to be seated. And I'm hoping by this time you're actually, you felt, of course it was a really nice breeze there, but that you're feeling Shabbat kind of rolling over you at this moment. And so, because we brought her in with us, and now is the time that we light candles. Candle lighting is on page 5. And I'd like to invite Great Aunt Kara forward to, if she's here. She is. Do you want to join her?
Okay.
So as the candles are lit, I guess I'm big on breathing, taking deep breaths. And my thing is, as candles are being lit, I would take this deep breath to actually bring in Shabbat. And you know, there's a tradition of circling 3 times and then closing your eyes and saying the blessing. There's actually a real reason for doing that. It's kind of silly, but there is a good reason for it. But I have a friend who also sends that light into the corners of the world. So I invite you to either make those hand motions or to just be thinking them or whatever you need to just make this the best Shabbat of the day. And I believe it's on page 75. Aha. So on page 75, I'm going to invite you to go down with your parents. And we're going to bless our children, whether they're here with us or not. And we'll begin with our daughters. And we'll do our daughters, our sons, and then we'll put them all together for all the children, all the genders. So pick a daughter, any daughter. And if you don't like your daughter, go to another one. No, I was kidding. And we say, Yisimech Elohim Kesara, Rivka, Rachel, Valeah. May God make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May Adonai bless and protect you. May Adonai's countenance shine upon you, and may Adonai bestow kindness upon you. May Adonai's countenance be lifted towards you, and may Adonai grant you peace. And for our sons, we say, Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim u'chi-Menashe, Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. And for all genders, all children, Yisimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim u'chi-Menashe, Kesara, Rivka, Rachel, Valeah, Yivarechacha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May Adonai's countenance be lifted towards you and towards us, and may Adonai grant each one of us peace. Amen. Come on back up. So one more part of Kabbalat Shabbat is a psalm for the day of Shabbat on page 27.
Mizmor, mizmor, mizmor shir, shir leyom haShabbat. Mizmor, mizmor, mizmor shir, shir leyom haShabbat. Tov, 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 tov lechodot, tov, tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer leshimha, leshimha elyon. Tov, 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 tov lehodot, tov, tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer leshimha, leshimha elyon.
And we read responsibly in the English with Nora leading us.
There. Is it good to thank you, Adonai, and sing your name most high, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night?
Finger the lute, pluck the harp, let the sound of the lyre rise up.
You gladden me with your deeds, Adonai, and I shall sing of your handiwork.
How wonderful are your works, Adonai. How subtle your designs.
The arrogant do not understand, the fool does not comprehend this. The wicked flourish like grass, and every evildoer blossoms, only to be destroyed forever.
But you, Adonai, are exalted for all time.
Surely your enemies, Adonai, surely your enemies will perish. All who commit evil will be scattered.
As a wild bull raises up its horn, you raised my head high, anointed it with fresh oil.
As my enemies gather against me, as my gaze remains steady, for my ears listen and hear.
The righteous flourish like the date palm, thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in our God's courtyards.
In old age they remain fruitful, still fresh and bountiful, proclaiming, Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no flaw.
Tzadika
Tamar Yifrach Ke'eres Balalan Yizkeh Shetulin Bebeit Adonai Be'adrot Eloheinu Yafrihu Ojenubun B'Seva Yeshenim Be'ranayim Yehu Lehagid Ki Yashar Adonai Turi below Avlatabo.
And we Kabbalat Shabbat, this Kabbalat Shabbat service with Mourners Kaddish on page 30. I invite those who have Yartzeit, who are saying Kaddish, to join with us. And as we finish the Kaddish, to remain standing, because then we will all rise for the Baruch Hu. Mourners Kaddish, page 30. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah. B'yalma divra kirute, b'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'yemeru. Amen. Yahei Shmei Rabbah Mavorach Leolam Le'omei Omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha B'richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Ta'amiran B'yalma V'yimeru. Amen. Yahei Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimeru. Amen. And we all rise now as we turn to page 39a.
Baruch et Adonai HaMavorach.
Baruch Adonai Mavorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavorach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Feel free to be seated as we continue on the second paragraph, which is first bracha before the Shema. Asher b'dvarim v'chochma b'tei yesharim et Umavir yom umevi laila, mavdil ben yom uben laila, Adonai tzivot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam vaed, Baruch atah Adonai, hamariv aravim. And we continue on page 40. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amachavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu lemadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shachbenu v'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu u'vahem neged yomam v'layla yomam v'layla v'yavatecha al tisir memenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Page 41.
Shema
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha
B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anohi mitzaveha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'divarta bam v'shivdecha b'veitecha uvleteha b'derech ובשופרך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, ושכבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Can we continue individually anywhere on page 42 or any other page that's moving you at this moment? Listen.
Adonai Elohim Emet.
And we continue on page 43b as we read responsively. You proclaimed the covenant on the seventh day.
Heard it and decreed it, we listened and heard it.
You loved this day we inherited, delighting in its remembrance.
And began its commandment, the Lord will remember set before.
From the time you bestowed it, joy filled the hearts of Yeshurun, the people you redeemed.
Declaring the cause of righteousness.
You exalted Shabbat as a sign between us forever. In 6 days your world was formed. On the seventh day you rested. To honor your name, they sing songs of praise to the one deserving of praise. And on the top of page 44, U'malchuto b'ratzon kiblu alehem, Moshe Miriam b'nei Yisrael, lecha anu shira, v'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam.
Mi chamocha be'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neder b'kodesh,
Nora tehilot, osei feleh. Malchut charuv anecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Ze eli anu v'yamru, Adonai yimlo leolam ba'ed. V'ne'emar kifad Adonai Yaakov, v'golom yad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. On page 45, allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot, Shalom Echa, Ufros aleinu. Adonai, Haporesu kat shalom aleinu, v'yal kol amo Yisrael, v'yal Yerushalayim. And we turn to page 46 as we rise, first to chant Vishamru together, and then Chatzi Kaddish, and then we break into our own silent prayer. So I invite you to rise. We're on page 46.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. And even Israel, oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashlish Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
B'amad yivrach yirtei b'yamlich malhutei. V'chayechon u'vyom echon uv'hayedaho beit Yisrael. Pagala, pagala, u'bizman karim v'imeru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach, ve'olam me'amayan, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitra'ar, v'yitraman, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitaleh, shemei dekucha prechu, ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbeha enta v'nehemata, Damira me'ama, v'imeru amen.
The Amidah, the silent standing prayer, begins on page 47 or any page that is in your heart.
Ose shalom b'mirma, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, imru, amen. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
We turn to page 53. It's customary to rise again, if you can, for the fake repetition. I'll explain that some other time. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzevam vayachal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto ki vo shavat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasod. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Konei Shemayim v'Haaretz, Magen Avot Bidvaro, B'chayei Metim b'Ma'amaro, Ha'el HaKadosh she'en kamohu, Hameniach le'amo, B'yom Shabbat kodsho, Kivam ratza lahaniach lahem, Kivam ratza lahaniach lahem, Lefanav navod, V'yirav afachad, V'nodeh lishmo b'chol yom tamid me'on habrachot el haodot Adon hashalom mekadesh hashabbat u'mevarech shavi u'meniach b'kedusha Li'ametu shnei oneg, zecher lemase v'reshit. Top of page 54. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ritzei v'imnuchatenu kodshenu b'mitzvotecha v'ten chalkenu b'toratecha Sabenu mituvecha, v'samachenu b'shuatecha, v'taher libenu, le'avdecha be'emet, v'hachilenu, Adonai Eloheinu, be'ahava uvratzon, Shabbat kodshecha, Yanuchu v'Yisrael Mekadeshei Shemecha Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Kaddish Shalem. Yitgadal v'yikadash shmei rabbah v'yamad divrak urtei v'yamlech malchutei v'chayechon u'meichon v'chedecho beit Yisrael v'agalav v'zman kariv v'yimeru amen Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam le'om me'omaya yitbar Barak v'yishtabak v'yitparv'jama v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudesha berichu leila min kol berchata v'shirata tishbachata v'nechamata dami ram b'yama v'meru amen tikabal soton v'oton d'ko Yisrael kadamu v'hon d'v'shamai v'meru amen Yehei shlama rabba min shamai v'chayim aleinu v'ko Yisrael v'meru amen Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimeru. Amen. Page 55. And this is kind of cool. Somebody must have polished this. Presented to Temple Bethel by Dr. and Mrs. Arthur A. Pitzela in honor of the birth of Mark, July 3rd, 1948. So you hold it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen. Not yet.
Oh.
It's a trick religion.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodesho v'ahava v'ratzon hinhilanu, zikaron l'maseh v'reishit, ki hulan tehila l'mikra'e kodesh, zeher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'torta, v'tanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodeha, v'ahava v'ratzon, hinhatanu. Wait, I Mekadesh HaShabbat.
It's great.
I know, I wasn't sure.
Do you want another sip? Just,
No, it's fine.
Elena, page 56, I'd love to invite up the B'nai Mitzvah class and all those people who are under the age of 18. Don't be shy. You're not, oh, I can see my kids. All right, all right. Really, you don't want to help your fellow, your patriot, bar mitzvah? Okay, we got one. We have Batman. There you go. Leinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'azol, v'lo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kaem, v'gor aleinu kechol amonam, v'anachnu korim, כי המלכות שלך היא עולמי תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו Feel free to be seated, and actually, Nora, you can go sit down if you'd like. A moment. It is hard to sing of oneness when our world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our lives have gone and nothing but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us to find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives most fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each life is a whole world. In each is the breath of the divine. In affirming God, we affirm the worth of each one whose life now ended brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. This evening, we're remembering the following members of our community whose yahrzeits occur this week. This evening, we're remembering Raymond Martin Asiri Urudi, father of Franny Broder, Ruth Filler, mother of Mark Filler, and Benjamin Goldberg, father of Jerry Goldberg. On Sunday, the 4th of Iyar, we remember Richard Lerman, brother of Steve Lerman, Ann Mack, mother of Marshall Mack, and Malka Singal, mother of George Singal. On Monday, the 5th of Iyar, we remember Shirley Levine, mother of Mark Levine, and Stephen Levine, husband of Chi-Chi Levine. George Schwartz, father of Lisa Schiffman and grandfather of Emma Schiffman Kelly. Sidney Seidenberg, father of Harriet Turkanis, and Edward Scheibel, husband of Charlotte Scheibel. On Wednesday, the 7th of Iyar, we remember Dorothy Krasnick, mother of Elaine Kahaner, Abe Gordon, great uncle of Rachel Mack, and Violet Rolnick Stern, mother of Betty Novick. And on Friday, the 9th of Iyar, remember Jean T. Siebold, mother of Beth Strassler. Is there anyone else we're remembering at this time?
The worrisome mothers and Abbas and the Yeladim who got killed for no reason in Eretz Israel.
And all the surrounding areas. Is there anyone else? I invite those who, and may the souls of our departed find peace in your sheltering care, and may we all be blessed with peace, tranquility, and the fullness of life. As I invite those who have yahrzeit, those who are saying Kaddish, to rise with me as we turn to page 58 for Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, B'yama divra kirute v'yamlich malchute, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon v'chayedacho Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yamaru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam le'omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal Shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran b'yama v'yamaru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimeru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'yimeru. Amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens above bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all humanity, and let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. A good Shabbos. How are you feeling, Nora? Great. Well, you and your family and your friends make this a very, very joyous Shabbat added to our congregation. It's so nice to see everyone here. And I kept feeling sorry about people, those of you who are getting blinded by the sun, but we've seen so little sun that a little bit of sun is not a bad thing. So, and Shabbat really starts at like 7:30 tonight. But anyway, so welcome. I'm glad you are all here, and I'll give a couple of announcements, which is Sunday. Maine is celebrating Yom HaAtzmaut and Yom HaZikaron, and we are doing that at Temple Bethel in Augusta. It starts at 4:30, and let's see, there's activities for the whole family, delicious community supper of Israeli food, and register here. Registrations are due by the end of today, May 9th. Just come. I always say that, they'll kill me, but it doesn't matter. We want everybody who'd like to come. There's even transportation from the JCA from here to Augusta. So I know your family will be doing nothing that day, and so you might just want to join us all in Augusta. At least you don't have to, have dinner for everybody. So that's great. I think that's what I want to announce. And the other thing is tomorrow starts at 9:30. For the Jews, that means 10 o'clock. For everybody else, that means 9:30. No, just kidding. You're all welcome to come whenever you get here, and it will also be a lot of fun. Is there something I should be announcing that I'm not? Oh, of course. So Yom HaZikaron is kind of like Israel's Memorial Day. So it's Remembrance Day. And Yom HaAtzmaut is Independence Day. So they come together. It's actually Tuesday, I think, is the day. But great. Any other questions? Would you like me to discuss anything? What? The Little Mermaid. When is that? That's the 16th, whenever that is. Thursday. Don't go away. You're gone. Oh, here it is. May 16th at 6:30 p.m. and May 19th at 2 p.m. in our social hall. The kids at Levy Day School have been working on this all year long, and others maybe too. And it's going to be great. So get your tickets. I didn't, but you can still. Anything else? I bet you're hungry. Okay, so we will, because we're Jewish, we only start to conclude, and the first conclusion will be on page 5, Shalom Aleichem, and then we have some challah, and then I'll bid you a Shabbat Shalom. So page 5. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei El-Yom. Do you know it? Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu boachem l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei el-yom Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu Baruch hu l'shalom malachei hashalom Kadosh
stayed in there for 3.5 years. It's impressive.
That's Everett.
Throw it up here because I'm going to be grabbing it tomorrow morning.
I'm a big mouth, and so she reacts to that. You know, she's like, okay, I don't want to be a big mouth like that guy.
I know, it's very funny watching you. No, and I know. What is it? Okay, I'm emotional. Oh, Dad?
Yeah. There's no good question that you can ask unless it's me on money. Yeah, are you gonna be joining dinner? Or you gotta get back.
I'm gonna get back. I've been gone all day, but thank you so much.
Of course. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. You really are the best.
So are you.
Oh, thank